Hello, Professor Bright here. Welcome back to A House of Many Doors, where last episode, we broke into the factory and nobody died. It was great. Well, I mean, a guard died, and I don't know if Ransack might have killed a few people while he was distracting them, but none of my people died, which means everything worked out fine. And we also have the orchard key. So naturally, we're going to unlock the door to the orchard and then be betrayed by someone, because that is how everything has pretty much gone this entire game. But maybe not. Maybe it'll be straightforward. We're going to save Persephone and everything will be great. I mean, I don't believe that for even a moment, but maybe. It's possible. Oh, you know, something that did occur to me. I have quite a few apprehensions, 592. I should do something with those. I do think vigilance sounds pretty great, because as I recall, that affects accuracy with my weapon, I think. And then get this up to 60. Just give me stories. And I don't know where to actually invest the rest of my points, so. I guess Guile. Again, it would help if I remembered what all these stats do, but I need a place to put all my apprehensions. And that is good enough for me. We have more, I could do more, but I don't know, at 85 Guile, I suspect any choices we get, I'm going to be using Esoterica anyway, so, you know. Oh boy. I thought that was going to take longer. Alright, let's go in. Another locked door, something draws you to this one, though. Unlock the door, the orchard waits you on the other side. The orchard key moves, dragging your hand with it. As the door opens, golden leaves flutter on the wind. There's a warmth in the air you've never before felt. Legs clank warily into motion. Come on now, old girl. You're almost there. Okay. And we're in. Oh. Now, hold on. Is this form... Oh, that's sealed off, so... No way but forward. Really? Surprised that there are any events here. Oh. Well, hello, music. You changed. Curious. I wanted to check if perhaps this was, like, arranged similarly to how the trickster's house was before the trickster did as he did. The orchard. You emerge in sunlight. The orchard unfolds before you, lush boughs dripping gold and clusters of shining fruit nestled in the branches above. The sky yawns endlessly overhead. A bumblebee drones past your ear and vanishes into a tangle of flowers. Bird song. We have time. Stop the Kinetopede. Wander out with your crew and stroll among the flowers. The Kinetopede clanks and wheezes to a halt. Down the ladder, onto the soft springy grass, your crew follow one by one. Augustus steps carefully down onto the grass beside you. In all my years, I never expected to see such a wondrous sight, he says quietly. He looks up at the sky and flinches. Nicholas unbuttons his tweed jacket and loosens his bow tie. I haven't been this warm since I was little and used to sleep beside a baker's oven, he says. It's nice. Sandy peeks from the Kinetopede's window, staring fixedly at the ground. I can't go out there, she hisses. The sky will swallow me up. Look at it up there. I've never seen something so empty. Oh, agoraphobic. Well, found a weakness in her, at least. I suppose I can turn the heart light off now, says Genevieve in a hushed voice. Not much use for it out here. She stares around for a moment more, then pulls a pad from her handbag and begins feverishly writing notes. Ah, breathtaking. Pen Pusher claps his huge hands together and sniffs. Is he weeping? Can Karchar weep? Ransack claps you on the shoulder. We'll be remembered forever for this, he says exuberantly. Heroes, one and all. Zhang Basho looks around with wonder. Miles of tree and wildlife and not a human in sight, he whispers. Truly, this is the promised land. Hey! 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 Look, just because most of my species has tormented yours and done terrible things to you doesn't mean that's okay, man. That's not right. We're gonna have a talk after this. Lucetta sits beneath a tree, fanning herself with her hat. Finally, she says, I'd damn near forgotten what sunshine felt like. Herd your crew back onto the Kinetopede. You clank up and down the tree line, searching for Persephone. I think I spotted her, dude. Your Kinetopede rumbles through the orchard, leaving a scatter of footprints in the soil behind it. Branches scrape the hull. There she is, shouts Nicholas. Persephone hangs from her spears, just as you remember from your dreams. But as the Kinetopede shudders to a halt, you realize something is deeply wrong. She's a withered, mummified thing, her limbs dangling limply, her ribs grasping at the open air, her mouth sagged open in a broken-jawed yawn. Quite obviously dead, and dead for a long, long time. That's when you hear the footsteps. Tump, tump, tump. Every footfall shakes the ground. Something approaches. Is it death? Is death what approaches? I'm not sure she would like us being here, but I also don't think we could do anything if she's upset, so wait in the open and attempt to look friendly, for what it's worth. You wait, the footfalls get louder and louder until, with an immense crashing of branches, a Scorpiopede breaks into the clearing, dragging foliage snagged in its leg mechanisms. It sails in front of you with a final belch of smoke and a convulsion of metal. The hatch opens and a woman climbs out. She's wearing a military jacket with gold epaulets and a rifle slung across her back. Her hair is white blonde and her sharp face is ageless. But what strikes you most is her eyes, as glittering and callous as diamonds. Greetings, Brian Bright, she smiles. It's a warm and gentle smile if you ignore those eyes. Please, don't mourn Persephone. She died a long, long time ago. You should focus on your extraordinary achievement and be proud. Who are you? In the city of Keys, they call me the Governor. She inclines her head. I've had other names, but I've been the Governor so long that they no longer fit. Who did I dream of, then? That was me, I'm afraid. Her smile has not wavered. Needed a way to nudge my favorite explorer in the right direction, don't I? A maiden in peril tends to motivate adequately, and the very best lies are a twist of the truth. After all, you did find Persephone in the end, though your rescue came 2,000 years too late. So Persephone never ate the fruit at all. She never became immortal. The Governor shakes her head sadly. No, Persephone never ate the fruit. In fact, she had a crisis of conscience and attempted to stop the rest of us from doing so. We killed her for her betrayal, and each speared her once so no individual would bear the guilt. Like I said, that was a long, long time ago. How did you find us out here? Well, I mean, she's the Governor. I think she can have us tracked. As soon as you stole the key from my vault, I had you followed, she says. Yeah, of course. That's when I knew you were close. Once I got to the orchard, it was just a matter of following your footprints. Why did you want me to find the orchard for you? She already came here once. She got what she wanted. After 2,000 years, my life is complete, she shrugs. I founded a great city and plundered the secrets of 1,000,000 worlds, stared into timeless abysses, peeled back veils, learned as much as one mind can hold. I've loved 1,000 men and 1,000 women, mothered 100 children. Now one of my men will take over as governor, with the citizenry none the wiser. 2,000 years is about what you need if you want to get anything serious done, and now I plan to retire. That's why I needed to find the orchard again, to escape to another world, forfeiting my immortality for a final few decades outside. She nods to you, and I'm grateful for you leading me here. I could not conduct the search personally. The house knows who I am, and would purposely frustrate my inquiries. She pauses. I will not apologize, she says, as your reward for helping me is in front of you. Escape to another world as you have always dreamed, or eat the fruit and become immortal. Which would you choose? Eat the fruit, she says earnestly. There's so much in the house that I'm sure you have yet to see. A whole dark world and only half of it explored. So many extraordinary friends you will never get to meet. I'm right, aren't I? You know there are threads left dangling. Perhaps. How do I escape, though? The trees stretch endlessly in every direction. No doors, no windows, nothing that could lead to another world. She sweeps her arm to encompass the surrounding forest. These are world trees, she says. Each shining fruit is a world. You must simply climb the tree and allow the blazing light of the fruit to take you. So, if I eat one of the fruits, I'm eating a world? No wonder this sparked the War of the Gods. No wonder it was a crime that echoes throughout history. How many people lived on each of those worlds? Millions? Billions? Do you think immortality came without sacrifice? Her tone is reasonable. I've had millennia to deal with my guilt, Brian Bright. It was worthwhile. I would do it again. She pulls the rifle from her back and calmly clicks off the safety. Now please, I've guided you to the orchard and offered you all that you could possibly desire. All I want in return is to go in peace. Fuck you. Just... Okay. Like, I get it. You want to live forever so you can do everything that there is to do. I get that. But how many people were living on the world you ate? Probably many millions, she says, shrugging. How am I to know? A flash of insight or imagination. A moonlit beach, a starry sky above. Teeth as huge as mountains filling the sky, descending. Fuck you. Okay, here's the thing. No one life is worth millions. If it's ever a case of, well, would you sacrifice one person to save, like, 100,000 people? Yes! Yes, every single time! Because that's just the right thing to do. And frankly, you have access to multiple worlds, many thousands of worlds worth of resources in the house. You don't think any of them developed medical technology that could give you an arbitrarily long life? Really? Really? None of them? Is that your thought? That nobody developed some sort of technology, just any dozens of things off the top of my head. Basic nanotechnology, to repair your cells. You could go with stem cells. You could go with, life extension therapies, gene editing. These are all technologies that are science fiction to us, but to other worlds, they probably aren't. And you know what? Just plain occultism. You can extend your life so far, and yet you decided to kill entire worlds just so you could only die by your own hand. Like, that's what a true immortal is, but just fuck you. How many explorers have you manipulated over the years, looking to discover the orchard once again? You've had predecessors, she says. Failures. Who else ate the fruit with you? Who else do I have to hunt down and kill? There were 8 others, including poor Persephone, says the governor. You might have met some of them already. A navigator, a pilot, a chronicler, an engineer, a surgeon, a light keeper, a captain of the guard. I'm sure this sounds familiar. The old patterns find new thread. Your actions started the War of the Gods. People are still forbidden to speak of your crime. Correct. The governor shrugs. But what am I to do if divinities throw a tantrum because of something that you did? I ensured that the right gods won, and I rewarded them. You are a selfish monster. Monstrous, perhaps, but not selfish. Fuck you, says the governor. I had the best interests of humanity at heart. Oh yeah, sure, okay, I believe that. You had your own best interests. Is one little short-lived world really too high a price to pay? Yes. For the chance to push the boundaries of human endeavor? Show me anyone who could accomplish what I've accomplished within the limits of an ordinary lifespan. What did you accomplish? You created a police state. You created a monstrous civilization. Also, 7 cities? Really? Really? That's your big accomplishment. God, I fucking hate this person. I'm not gonna admire your ambition. I am sure as hell not letting you go. We're killing her. 3 sharp cracks of your pistol. Blood blossoms on the governor's chest. She glances down, unflinching. I'm immortal, remember? You've succeeded in ruining a jacket. Still, this is as good a sign as any that our hitherto civil conversation has reached its end. She backs carefully up against her Scorpiopede, keeping her rifle steady. The Scorpiopede rumbles into life, its guns are swiveling towards you. Did you think I would be so stupid as to come here defenseless, she demands. A ladder hisses down next to her, and she grabs a rung. I brought you here where all your dreams can be fulfilled. and all he wanted to do was leave in peace. You should be thanking me. The ladder retracts, taking her with it. The Scorpiopede lumbers towards you. To arms. We're killing some monsters. Alright. I do not have enough gunners to run all my guns. Pen Pusher, you're a gunner now. Have fun with that. Combat golems. Oh, good. Good. Well, good news, they have as many gunners as I do, so if we destroy them, all should be well. Alright. Could be doing better, Pen Pusher, can you actually fire this thing? You can, good. Alright. So we're gonna fire on this gun. Hopefully to destroy this gun and maybe take out that golem? Question mark? So far we're doing more damage to them than they're doing to us, which is good. Where is someone who can actually do something about that whole... destroyed... Oh, shoot. Do I not have any junior engineers? Nicholas Verdant, a Swabby. Go over there? Maybe you can do something about that? I don't... How do I not have any junior engineers? This is... There's one. Okay. We'll deal with that in a moment. You said a Quetzal, you're going that way. Still getting hit, though. Alright. Well, good news is this thing's destroyed, so... If we take out this other one... Oh. You're not boarding me. Nope, we will have none of that. Okay. A little dicier than I would like. And fire. Oh, and, yeah, retreat a little bit. Dear me. Okay. If we can just take out this cannon before it fires, we should be fine. Except for this thing. Shoot. Go. Retreat just a little bit. Yep, that one gun's still firing. That's not good. Okay. Oh boy. Alright. Fire everything. Hope for the best. So that hits, we're dead. Yes! Perfection itself. Black smoke blots out the sky. The Scorpiopede has been blown open, its crew reduced to bloody lumps amidst the wreckage. Only the governor survives, tottering from the crater with a pistol clutched desperately in her bloodied fist. The fire has ravaged her, turning half her skin raw and slick and red, and one of her eyes into a shrunken white orb. It's not too late, she says. Look at me, I'm suitably admonished for my crimes. You can still let me go. All I want is to leave. Take a spear from Persephone's tree. You pull a spear from between Persephone's rib with a sickening crunch. Stop. The governor backs away, but your crew raise their rifles and fire again and again. She collapses against the side of the nearest tree in a burnt and bloodied heap. Finally, too bullet-ridden to move. I'm your governor still, she spits, red drool hanging from her chin. I demand you cease this. You raise the spear and push it between her ribs, into the tree behind. She gasps and retches, and reaches up automatically to stop you, her hand closing around the handle. You cover her hands in your own, grip tightly, and push again. An immortal can only die by her own hand. The governor's body shudders, and she raises her last good eye to the bright blue sky. Then she falls still. Silence, except the bird song. The Scorpiopede and Kinetopede are two incongruous iron beasts in the wilderness, their engines plinking as they cool, legs creaking as they settle. Your crew emerge, gawking at the governor's fresh corpse and Persephone's ancient remains. They turn to you mutely. Every face is a question. What now? First things first, a burial for Persephone, after all this time. papery skin draped over brittle bones, you pull Persephone gently down from her tree, and your crew fetch the shovels. An hour later, you lay her to rest. The birds sing, the sun shines. Your crew remove their hats. It's as good as grave as any. You pile a cairn above the burial mound. You could etch an epitaph on the stone if you wanted. I like this. Here lies Persephone, mortal. Sounds fitting. Well, speak to the crew. They're staring at you with hope and fear. Your crew are gathered on the grass, waiting, muttering. Take one of them aside, offer them solace, listen to their pleas. Augustus and Waif sit side by side atop the Kinetopede roof. Augustus solemnly pointing out the clouds that look most like her face. She's giggling uncontrollably. Waif and I are going to try to find her old world, he calls down to you. We'll look at 100 fruits if we must. I plan to return her to her parents. Wouldn't that be something special? At least one lost child finally finding her way home. It's nice. Sandy Brackett. Sandy's poured herself a glass of champagne. She sits on the grass, looking around with a dazed smile. It's bloody lovely once you summon the courage to get out beneath the sky, she chirps. What's the plan, Captain? Eat one of the fruits. Go on, I'll join you. No! What? No! Nicholas. Hi, what's up? Nicholas is sitting in the sun, his tweed jacket folded neatly in his lap, his bandolier of pistols slung casually on the grass. Well, we killed the governor, he says. I thought I'd be happier. The society have been trying to bump her off for decades. So why'd I get the feeling that we'll get home and nothing will have changed? He sighs deeply. Maybe if we ate the fruit, I'd have enough time to actually change things, do some real good in the house. Did you... Wow, I have some monsters that I've recruited here, clearly. You don't kill a world to do good in another world. Like... Okay, pen pusher. Like, our... Pen pusher! I don't know what we should do, Brian Bright, says Pen Pusher nervously. On the one hand, this is a terrible sin, but one life doesn't seem like enough, does it? There's so much out there we will otherwise never know, so much darkness beyond our circle of light. Yeah, you know how we fix that? By not making the circle of light smaller by killing an entire planet's worth of people. Genevieve, come on. Do not eat the fruit. Thank God one of you is not a monster. It's the bloodthirsty vampire, but whatever, it's fine. Says Genevieve, sacrificing 1 billion lives for one really long and valuable life is not a net good. Maybe if we were only sacrificing a few thousand lives, it could be justified. But I'm afraid that this time the mathematics of morality don't work out in your favor. I suggest you travel instead. There are other worlds waiting. And also, I shouldn't say, she's not bloodthirsty. She's, gone all, vegetarian? Question mark? But, I'm glad at least one of you is not a complete monster. I'm really glad. Ransack Morton. Ransack is sitting and scowling beneath a tree, mired in thought, rubbing the bridge of his nose between 2 huge fingers. Even if I do something no one will ever know, he mutters to himself. Is it worth it? He forces a smile as you approach. Sorry, he grunts, just thinking. Zhang Basho. I see clearly now, says Zhang Basho. Humans have dominated for so long because they were the ones who ate the fruit. So long ago. 8 immortal humans have shaped history ever since. Oh, perhaps it's time for the Mycenite to gain an eternal champion of their own. Like, I get the argument, I do. But no. Lucetta Quetzal. You can't eat the world fruit, says Lucetta. The other worlds are full of people just like you or I. Hopes, dreams, lives. Might seem like nothing to you, but to us, to them, it's everything. Yeah, we're done talking. Also, guys, come on! We are escaping to another world. We are not eating this fruit. I just brutally murdered someone for eating the fruit. And she had 2,000 years to get me to be like, okay, maybe you've done enough to earn your forgiveness. No! Escape to another world! Are you sure you want to escape to another world? Yes! Tell your crew you have made your decision. I'm going to travel to another world, you tell the crew. They whisper to each other. Some sigh with relief. If you want to escape the house, step forward. You draw a line in the soil. Else, climb into the Kinetopede and leave now. I will lock the door behind you after you are gone. Waif and I are going to stay behind and find her old world, says Augustus, placing a hand on the small girl's shoulder. So I'm afraid this is where we must part, Captain. To everyone's immense surprise, he sniffles and blows his nose violently on a handkerchief. It's been a true honor. Sandy shrugs and steps over the line. This sounds like a lark, she says. What are we, if not explorers? Perhaps I should go back and tell the society that the governor is really gone, says Nicholas. But I think they'll work it out. He steps over the line. I'm tired of fighting. I want to go somewhere new. Penpusher steps over the line, his toothy skin flushed with excitement. I wanted to see things no Carter had ever seen, and what better opportunity could I hope for, he asks. Oh, but wait, let me get my books first. He dashes back into the Kinetopede. Genevieve stares at the line with longing, but does not step over. Every fiber of my being wants to join you in a new world, she says. I love you. And there's so much I want to see, but I'm a vampire. In the house I can resist my thirst, and I am forever sheltered from the cruel sun. Traveling to another world could be a death sentence for me. She takes a deep breath. I'll miss you so much. I'll always remember what we had, Brian Bright. But you should forget me as soon as you can. You have a whole world ahead of you. Another world, roars Ransack, stepping over the line. Let's go! Somewhere out there needs a hero. Like, I'm sad to see Genevieve go, but I get it. So we're not going to become immortals? Jean Bachot sounds deeply disappointed. Well, never mind. I found a home in your crew, Brian Bright, and I'll stand by you wherever you go. It steps over the line. Lucetta smiles. I'm going to stay here and look for my old world, she says. It's been an interesting few years, but it's time to go home. Those in your crew who don't want to leave the house file back to the Kinetopede, offering you thanks and goodbye. The Kinetopede rumbles into life and scuttles out through the orchard door, swallowed instantly by the darkness of the house, leaving nothing but a fading cloud of smoke. You wave, then lock the orchard door behind them. For the first time in a long time, you don't have a Kinetopede. It's just you and the blue skies above, and those who are willing to accompany you to another world. Climb into the world tree and gaze into starlight. The orchard blossoms with 100,000 worlds. You can never examine them all, but you can at least glance into a few before you make your escape. Trembling, you pull yourself up through the branches. A world fruit blazes before you and you brush it with your fingertips. Allow the light to flow down your arm for just a moment. Close your eyes. You see a world of magic and high adventure where gray-bearded wizards roll from towers of twisted plastic, where dragons glide the skies and cloak towns below in shadow, where knights ride giant serpents and battle intransigent apes. Then you open your eyes back in the orchard once more. Reach for another. A brush of fingertips, a blaze of light. The second fruit is a world of glass and concrete and steel. Tired-eyed people, flickering screens, but there are wonders here too. Words can be sent across 1,000 miles in an instant. Everyone is closer together and further apart. Sounds familiar. You re-emerge from the fruit, blinking, and reach for a third. This is a planet shattered into fragments, 100,000 tiny islands floating above a blasted wasteland below. They flit through the skies in flying ships, and live in fear of razor-beaked birds the size of houses. You clamber down and consider, which world will you choose? I do like airships. I like them a lot. And the real world, I mean, we know what happens there, so the world of air and feathers. You gather your remaining crew and guide them to your chosen world fruit, one by one. As each of them passes to the other world, there's a blinding flash. Finally, you're alone. You look around the orchard, reveling for a moment in the brightness and birdsong, so different to the darkness from which you came. The story of the house will continue without you. The years will turn and the house will reset, and the same events will unfold. Maybe you'll make a different decision next time you're here, but for now, you are satisfied. This is an ending, and that is enough. You climb up into the world tree and are met by a blaze of light. Augustus and Waif stay in the orchard for weeks, searching until she finds a world she recognizes. She and Augustus escape hand in hand. Unfortunately, they find themselves on the other side of the world to Waif's parents. They cross continents on camelback, stow away on steamships, flee from hungry stone souls in the mountains. Finally, Augustus brings Waif home. For a while, it seems her grateful parents will never stop hugging her. When they look up to thank Augustus, he's slipped away into the rain. Aw. As a visitor to another world, Sandy has a certain responsibility to be truthful about the place from which she came. Naturally, she ignores this completely. Her lies about the house are hugely popular, and probably more believable than the truth. She is soon a renowned storyteller, flitting from island to island in her personal airship. Fair enough. Nicholas finds a job as a lookout in a merchant ship. He greatly enjoys cloud gazing in the crow's nest, taking potshots at the occasional passing bird. Much later, he'll become the captain of his own vessel, and explore the unmapped skies of the west, pushing deep into perpetual fog. Nice. Penpusher finds a quiet library in which to settle down, a castle full of books that drifts gently through the clouds and accepts all scholars, even those as unusual in appearance as Penpusher. For him, it's something like heaven. Aww. Genevieve returns to the City of Keys and continues her work for the Abstemi. A few discreet blackmails, a few rogue vampires exterminated, a few politicians influenced under the guise of psychotherapy. She misses her time aboard the Kinetopede. Oh, we miss her, but we do what we must. Ransack continues to inflict heroism upon people, to their annoyance and occasional misfortune, but after years of trouble, he finally finds something he is very good at, thinking like an outlaw. He becomes a famed hunter of sky pirates, tracking them through the skies, anticipating their every move. By the time he dies peacefully in bed, surrounded by grandchildren, his chest is so weighted with medals he can barely walk. I love that he became a hero. I really do. Just... so glad. Zhang itself is treated with suspicion by locals. It retreats in solitude to deep within a floating forest, rather. It enters a kind of hibernation. All over the world, people dream Mycenae dreams. Zhang Basho whispers to them of a dark house and fungus folk. They wake, bewildered and terrified. Zhang Basho does not wake again, but years later, overgrown with moss and weeds, its red cap will open and flood the air with spores. They dance on the breeze, spread to 1,000 islands. In a couple of decades, Mycenae will be everywhere. In a few scant centuries, this world will belong to them. Oh. That's a bit unfortunate, but, well. Lucetta says her goodbyes and does not travel with you. She chooses to remain in the orchard, climbing among the branches in search of her old world. It takes months, but finally there it is. She steps into starlight and out blinking into the Texas sun, a heartfelt sigh. Home. And what about you? Well, the name Brian Bright will be remembered in the house forever, but you left that behind. You're somewhere new now, somewhere no one's ever heard of you, somewhere this narrative cannot follow. Take a deep breath, go outside, enjoy the sunshine. And thank you for playing. Alright. You know what? That's upsetting, but I'm pretty satisfied with how that turned out. I mean, apart from us, you know, sort of infesting a world with Mycenae who, centuries later, will take it over. That's a bit upsetting, but everything else seemed to work out pretty good. And as a game, I've got to say, liked House of Doors. I did not love it. There are definitely some problems with it. Map design, for one thing. But the stories and the... the stories and the art really kind of do it for me, I'll be honest. And I'm so curious. I know there are a bunch of stories that we didn't explore in this playthrough, but... I have so many questions, and that's kind of why I love this game. I love the mysteries. The thing is, I feel like some parts of it were inconsistent. For example, gods are supposed to be immortals, such that death cannot track them. But then we've seen gods being killed, and I don't think it was by their own hands. But these immortals that were made from eating this fruit and, again, being complete monsters destroying entire worlds. Which, hold on a minute. I seem to remember back a long time ago, a solar system with a dead star and 7 dead worlds. Or 8 dead worlds. I think we actually got a few hints that this happened earlier in the game. I don't remember where I remember that from. I think it might have been... might have been a dream, it might have been something else. Interesting. And I wonder who the other immortals are. I mean, the Lady of Blades maybe, but as I understand, the Lady of Blades might have been Death, or I'm not entirely sure what she was. Just given what hints we have, I'm curious. I want to find them. I also want to kill them for their crime. And which also means that the Trickster killed a world. Still, it was good to have things end well for my crew. Most of my crew, anyway. Genevieve is back to doing her regular job, and she'll find someone, I'm sure. Let's be honest. It's one of those cases of, oh, you were her one true love? No. She'll find someone else, and it'll be fine. Mind you, they won't have killed an immortal god thing. But, you know, I'm sure they'll be great. Oh, dearie me. Well, to be fair, I didn't kill the mayor, or the governor. The governor killed herself. You know, I just helped her along. That's the thing. There's the thing. See, now I wish I took more notes, because I'm thinking about the other implication of some of the other stories if we could have identified who the immortals were. But this is all stuff that, at this point, doesn't really matter. I enjoyed my time with the game. I suggest purchasing it yourself and exploring the rest of the worlds that it has to offer. Links in the description below. It's not without its flaws, but I'd say the good outweighs the flaw. Oh. Ah. So that was the governor who was there before. Interesting. Well, thank you very much for your time. Note the like, comment, and subscribe buttons below. Use them responsibly. And I will see you all soon. Somewhere else.